Hello and welcome to EU4 School with the Blobber. Today we will be talking about releasing vassals, the Reconquest CB, and minimizing aggressive expansion. One of the driving limiting factors in EU4 is aggressive expansion. When you take over land militarily, aggressively, you get aggressive expansion. It's modified by lots of things, like how far away you are from other countries, are they the same culture and religion and so forth. But at the end of the day, if you're taking a big swath of land, you're probably going to end up with a fairly big swath of aggressive expansion. All the more so depending on what kind of CB you use. If you're using Reunify China, you get significantly reduced aggressive expansion. If you use claims, if you use a Conquest CB and take land that you don't have a claim on, you're going to get an arseload more, and even more if you're over there in the Holy Roman Empire. One way you can help minimize this is by using the Reconquest CB. Reconquest CB is to get back cores. Now, very few countries actually start with many cores they don't have, but there are a number of significant vassals at the start of the game that you can release that have a large number of cores. Now, Nagai doesn't really need help with getting a CB, because they've got the Horde CB. But this does still work for Nagai for minimizing aggressive expansion, and also the need to actually core stuff, because the vassal already has cores, whereas you would have to core it. So as an example here, you can release Kazakh, and then they have a large number of cores, and these aren't all, I mean, there are a number of 3 development ones, but there are a number of fairly high development ones also, including an 18. This is one significant example, one that you often, as a player, I often try to take advantage of if I'm Muscovy, if I'm Timurids becoming Persia, or the Mughals, if I'm the Ottomans, or if I'm one of the other hordes. There are some other significant countries that are worth mentioning that have vassals that you may want to make use of. You're starting as a France. If you try and take too much land from Aragon, the other Iberians are going to get severely pissed at you, as will probably Provence and Brittany, Savoy, and possibly even some of the Italian states. However, if in your first war against Aragon, you take one of the provinces that you can release Catalonia from, for example, Roussillon, the next time you can reconquest the rest of Catalonia. So let's have a look. Tag France. We will speed up time, get a month to happen so that we can declare a war. Doesn't really matter. Or actually, we'll do it even faster. We'll go tag Aragon, sell France, Roussillon. We will become France again. We will accept. And now we can release Catalonia. We can see the significant number of provinces that Catalonia have, and that you could then reconquest for, including Valencia, Tarragona, and Barcelona. These are also especially valuable because they are centres of trade, well, they're trade modifying provinces in the Genoa node, which is an extremely valuable node. And, because as we mentioned, it will help minimise aggressive expansion with the Iberians and the other nearby states if you're starting as France. Other notable countries that you may want to try to use this with are Persia. So let's go over to, what's Kara's code? QAR? Yes. Persia. This one is even more valuable because if you release Persia, and they already exist as a tag, when the Mamelukes start having Persian rebels, they will all defect to you. But Persia is another good example. As is, and we can still do this one as QQ, Syria. And if you were someone else, you could go and do Iraq. So if you were like Timurids, and you just took one province here as Iraq, the next time you could feed back the rest of Iraq. So we've covered Persia, Kazakh, Iraq, Syria, and Catalonia as some of the best options. Now, those are just countries that start at the start of the game. There are some countries which are not small enough to vassalize at the start of the game, or that you can't release, such as Novgorod, who are basically perennial losers. Like, the Mamelukes are very likely to get eaten by the Ottomans. If you can come in and snatch up the Mamelukes when they're vassalizable, having been reduced, you can then reconquest a lot of that land. If you wait for Muscovy to take the first bite out of Novgorod and they minimize them down to under 100, if you're, say, the Livonians or Denmark, and you can then go vassalize them, after that you can go feed that back. Cool. So, this should help you with your understanding of how to use a single claymore to get a core for a nation that you don't... for a province that has a nation inside of it that you can release, which you can then use to do Reconquest CBs to minimize your aggressive expansion and expand quickly in a way that doesn't piss off everyone around you. I hope you'll be able to use these techniques in your campaigns, and that you'll join us for one of our own soon. Bye bye.